Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how to release anything that's preventing us from receiving messages from our deceased loved ones. Now remember, with the law of attraction, we get whatever we're thinking about and feeling. And if we feel we can't connect, guess what? You won't be able to do so. So first, it's a two-part process. We're going to release those emotions and those feelings, and then we're going to learn how to use affirmations to be able to connect with your deceased loved ones. So let me begin by telling you how I learned about the emotional freedom technique, or tapping. That's what this module is all about. So what tapping is, our negative emotions are stored in our acupuncture points. So if you tap on the acupuncture point, as you're experiencing the negative emotion, you're able to move the emotion out. Now that is key. If you're not feeling the emotion as you're doing the tapping, which I'm going to explain in a few minutes, it will not work. Because what happens is you're bringing up the emotion, whether it be anger, fear, inadequacy of not being able to receive messages, grief, whatever it is, and you're feeling the emotion. That energy goes right to these acupuncture points and you tap on that energy and it moves out of your system. It's all because you're mind, body, spirit. Okay? It's the energy of who you are. You can only deal with the mind if you go to a therapist, which is wonderful, and I highly recommend it. You go to a physician, which is wonderful. I highly recommend it. That's your body. But if you don't work on your emotions and your feelings and your energy, you won't be healed. You have to be healed on every single level. Mind, body, and spirit. Does that make sense? Okay. So how I found out about tapping, it's interesting. A client of mine several years ago called me up and said, can I please do a healing on her husband? Her husband was a Vietnam vet and was experiencing post-traumatic stress. He wasn't able to hold a job, he wasn't able to sleep at night, and he couldn't stand loud noises. So I said, yeah, I could do a healing on him, but I'm not sure what I could do. But absolutely, bring him in. So what happened was he was on his way to see me, and I was asking the angels what I could do for him. I didn't know what I could do for him. And a book fell off my shelf. It was called EFT Tapping. Now, someone had given that book to me years before that, and I didn't even open it. I glanced over it. I did open it, but I didn't really read it because it looked goofy. It looked like, what could that possibly do for me? Tapping on your points. How is that going to be able to heal me? So I really didn't go in much more detail, put it on my shelf. That was it. Okay, so here I am. I'm asking the angels what I should do for him, and this book falls off my shelf. So I said, okay, I always listen to what the angels tell me. Open the book up to a page, and on the page that I opened up to, it said, this technique is perfect for post-traumatic stress, especially in veterans. Says, oh my God, this is perfect for Dennis. And by the way, I share this story in my book, Your Life After Their Death. So anytime I share a story about a client or a loved one, a family member, it's because they told me that I can. So by the time he came to see me, I wasn't able to read the book, but I told him what happened. I said, what the angels did. The book fell off my shelf. I gave him a copy of the book, and I said, you come back. I'm going to get a copy of the book and learn how to do this, and you come back and I'll do tapping on you. So we did the tapping. He came back maybe a month later, and it was like a miracle. His wife said now he's able to sleep at night, he's able to hold a job, and he's not angry as much or fearful. So this really works. Okay, let me show you how to do it, and then I'm going to take you through several rounds of tapping. You ready? And you don't have to memorize this. This is the best part. I have notes for you. You could follow the notes at a different time. There's two parts to tapping. Just like when you go bowling, you have to set up the pins before you bowl. Well, we have to set up our energy before we do the tapping. Okay, so the first part, we have acupuncture points right here. Hope it doesn't affect the microphone. But you have to use your thumb and rub here. Now, if these points hurt, it means you're storing a lot of the energy there. So you have to spend a little bit more time in that area. Okay? So the beginning part, you say something such as, even though I feel I'm unable to connect with my deceased loved ones. I love and accept myself the way I am. Even though I miss my loved ones so much, I want to love and accept myself the way I am. Even though whatever it is, I want to love and accept myself the way I am. For the purposes of today, we're going to say, even though I feel that I cannot connect with my deceased loved ones, I want to love myself the way I am. Why are we saying, even though I feel like I can't connect? Because we're getting rid of the negative feelings. We can't affirm what we want until we get rid of what we don't want. So I could be saying throughout the day, I'm able to connect with my deceased loved ones at any time, but you don't believe it? It's not going to happen. We have to get rid of those feelings. Does that make sense? Good. Okay. So the first part, we're going to say, go here, and you're going to rub pretty hard. You feel the emotion of feeling like you're inadequate and you can't receive messages. Feel that feeling. Bring the feelings up. Say, even though I feel that I cannot connect with my deceased loved ones, I want to love and accept myself the way I am. And you rub pretty hard. Even though I am frustrated that I can't connect with my deceased loved ones, I want to love and accept myself the way I am. And say it again. Even though I am so frustrated that I can't connect with my loved ones, I want to love and accept myself the way I am. So you say that 3 times. If you do not feel the feelings as you're doing the tapping or the beginning part, it doesn't work. So if you say something like, I am so upset, I cannot connect, that doesn't work. I have had clients and friends that do this. Doesn't work at that time. So you really have to feel the frustration. I'm so frustrated, I can't connect with my loved ones, but I love myself the way I am. You say that 3 times, okay? For the purposes of today, we're talking about how to tap to get rid of emotions that are preventing us from receiving messages from our deceased loved ones. However, I have worked with clients over the years, grief, when you're experiencing grief, anger, fear, phobias. I actually tapped on myself. I had a phobia of water. I almost drowned as a child, and I did tapping on it. And it really works. The bottom line is that you have to feel the emotion before and as you're doing the tapping for it to work. So I actually, when somebody comes to see me, I get a box of tissues out and they're crying or cursing, whatever they're doing, they're really feeling their emotions. And they rate their emotion from 0 to 10, 10 being the worst, 0 being the least. And as we work through with the tap and tap and tap, we see if we worked on the right words and so forth, and we keep going down, down, down. For the purposes of today, we're just getting rid of anything that's preventing us from receiving messages from our deceased loved ones. But please feel free to use this technique on any other thing that you're going through, any negative emotion. Okay? Take your 2 fingers on each hand. I'm going to show you the tapping points. Right here, middle of, right by your nose and your eyebrow, the outside of your eyebrow, under your eyes, under your mouth, under your nose, under your mouth. You're going to crisscross your hands and tap here. You want to give it a good whack. I'm going lightly so the microphone doesn't go off, but then here. Now some of these points you may not be able to see. Under your arms. I don't know if you see me? Now the next part you probably can't, but in the seam of your pants, the sides of both of your legs, and right below your knees, you're going to tap. Then you're going to do karate points, tap here, and then between your ring finger and your pinky, and then the other one. Okay? So now I'm going to begin tapping. I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to use the affirmation about getting rid of anything that's preventing us from receiving messages from our deceased loved ones. But please feel free to use whatever you need to release in your life as well. Okay? You take 2 fingers on each hand. You say something like, I am frustrated. I can't connect with my loved ones. I'm so frustrated. I miss them so much. I miss them so much. I miss them so much. I just want to connect with them. I just want to connect with them. I am frustrated. I can't connect with them. I am frustrated. And you want to give it a good whack, okay? They didn't deserve what they went through. I didn't deserve what I went through. and you move down. Seam of your pants. Then below your knees. I am willing to release anything that's preventing me from receiving messages from my deceased loved ones. I am willing to release anything that's preventing me from receiving messages from my deceased loved ones. I am willing to release anything and everything that's preventing me from receiving messages from my deceased loved ones. Okay, and you can do several rounds of tapping on that. But again, if you're going through grief or anger or fear, please feel free to do several rounds of this. Get a box of tissues out and scream, shout, and cry and do whatever it takes to release this energy. Remember, it only works when you express and feel that emotion and then you tap on the acupuncture points. Then it's released. Okay, so now that you've tapped on everything that you don't want, in this case, your inabilities to connect with your deceased loved ones, now you could focus on what you do want. Because remember, the law of attraction states that whatever you're thinking and feeling, you're creating more of that in your life. So let me go back and say, if you're thinking and feeling that you cannot connect with your deceased loved ones, you won't be able to do so. That's why we tapped. Now we tap that all out. Hopefully you feel better about yourself and your abilities. Now you feel confident, and now you could start affirming that you can. Here are some sample affirmations that I have included in your notes that you could say throughout your day. I am able to feel my loved ones whenever I choose. I am able to feel my loved ones whenever I choose. I love receiving signs and messages from my loved ones. I love receiving signs and messages from my loved ones. The next one is one of my favorites. I trust in my ability to connect with them. That's a strong one. I trust in my ability to connect with them. Say that often. I trust in my ability to connect with them. I talk to my loved ones and I know they can hear me. I talk to my loved ones and I know they can hear me. I talk to my loved ones and I know they can hear me. I easily and effortlessly am able to quiet my thoughts so that I can receive real messages from them. I easily and effortlessly am able to quiet my thoughts so that I can receive real messages from them. I know you can do this. That's why I'm doing these modules for you. Get rid of everything you don't want, your inadequacies and your previous thinking that you can't do this, and know that you can. Trust me, this works. I do it myself. I'm going to say it one more time. According to the law of attraction, you experience whatever you're thinking and feeling. So if you're thinking and feeling that you can connect, you will. Be open and receptive, and you will receive the messages. I promise you. That's it for today. Angel blessings to you.